to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pat, I need a motion to approve the previous board minutes.
Make a motion to approve the previous board minutes.
Second by Ken.
Second? Yep, yes ma'am,
Roll
sorry.
call, Pat.
I'm not used to that. Yes ma'am.
And Bruce is absent.
And Bruce is absent. We're gonna skip Rick until Rick is available. You got anything for us, Donna?
So we do need to decide on the fireworks, if we're keeping it, what's posted, or we're keeping the deduction. So it's posted for $12.50, we've been taking $900.
I see no reason to change that. Do you see any reason to change that?
No.
Okay.
Keeping the 900.
900.
Yeah. And then a motion to approve the bills, please.
Make a motion to approve the bills.
I'll second that.
Roll call, Pat.
Yes.
Ken.
Yes ma'am.
Bruce is absent. So we need to agree to sign the packet for the healthcare through the local again.
I need a motion, Pat.
There's another 3-year package.
Yep.
Oh, yes. Make
You've
a
reviewed,
motion.
I've reviewed.
Yes.
Yep.
Make a motion we approve the healthcare packet,
Second?
renewal packet.
Roll call, Pat.
Yes.
Ken.
Yes ma'am.
Bruce is absent. So just so you know, it's not about what,
Right.
that part's not in there. Okay.
Yep. I got you.
We're on it to the best of our ability. Chief Marlowe.
And thank you, board, and good evening. I have 1.5 items. As you all recall, last board meeting, you all tabled the flooring, epoxy flooring change, whatever you want to call it, at Station 2. So I'm asking the board now for a possible vote, if you agree to it, to move forward with the flooring at Station 2. That's the epoxy flooring that's gonna solve our crack problem. As I sent you in your packet, you should have the cost from Missouri Terrazzo, and that's bid 1 would be the engine bay floor, bid 2 would include the 2 additional rooms, and then the credit that's gonna be allowed through LCS and Buckeye Concrete.
It's on you, Pat. I need a motion. If you want to approve the 2 rooms also.
I'm gonna say, do we need to do the 2 rooms? Is it that big of an issue that?
So on the
You're
rooms,
talking
I
about
would
the
say
the bunker room.
it's the bunker room and the laundry room. And they don't have doors.
Right.
And for it to look cosmetically correct or appeasingly correct, you probably want to do it.
Okay.
And the hallways are included in the engine bay.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't do it, there will be a slight lift.
Well, I was gonna say too, yeah, depending on how much they've gotta raise it up to get the slope, there may be a little bit of a lip there too.
Couldn't possibly pick up our feet.
No, water line.
Yeah.
That's a real issue.
That's, I was gonna say, that's,
Now, that cost will come out of capital bond monies, not the general revenue.
Yeah, I'll make a motion, I'm good with it.
Second.
Motion to approve it.
Roll call, Pat.
They got a time frame? Yes. Time frame when they're gonna do this, or?
I'll set that up. Also in your motion, please allow me to sign the contract with Missouri Terrazzo, if you're good with that.
Yes.
Ken.
Yes ma'am.
Roll call, Pat.
Yes.
Ken.
Yes ma'am.
Bruce is absent.
So the half side of that is, Pat, to answer your question, we're gonna get this set up at appropriate time. We will have to move the companies out of there.
There.
So for temporary purposes, they'll either here at 1s or 4s, we'll work that out. And then also to keep this as a minimum downtime for the firefighters, in conjunction to this, I would like to schedule the shower replacement at the Station 2. That is totally under warranty, no cost to the district, and that way we won't have to shut down showers for a period of time. Because no one will be there.
All of them?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The ones,
Just like a terminal water.
well, the ones that fall under they've been cracked and need to be repaired, which, Paul,
It's all
all
four
of
of
them now?
them.
Yeah.
that's all 4 of them.
So we'll try to get that in conjunction.
Right.
That's all I had under my report, gentlemen.
Can they get one done and keep working? Like if we did move
Yes,
back
sir.
in? So I
Yes, sir.
thought so, but I wasn't sure.
They had said, I was down there when the gentleman stopped by, and he said that if we would remain down there, that they could do 2 of the showers in about 4 hours, and then they'd come back the next day and then get the other 2 knocked out. But in between that and we're already gonna need to be
Right.
out for the
It'd be
big
great to get
floors.
it done at the same
Do
time.
it at the same
Yeah.
time if
Yeah.
possible, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, board, that's all I had.
Robert?
Last month, we had 180 calls we ran. We assisted Old Monroe with their fire academy, one of their nights of testing, the fire 1 and 2 testing. We have one more night to do. We got canceled Monday night. Last week, we hosted the active shooter class. We had a combination of 22 attendees. We had our district, Winfield Foley, LCAD, Dispatch, Troy PD, and then Troy Arthur School District now has a head of public safety. He was also in attendance, so it went over very well. So we're looking at possibly doing an actual active drill next year, next summer, so we'll talk more about that later on.
Is this his only job?
So it'll be, yes, that'll be his only position.
The Department of Public Safety for the whole district?
Yes, so it's a new position. So it was one of the principals that got that position, so he'll be with public safety, he'll be health, kind of anything working with that. SRO officers, kind of like that portion.
Okay.
Summer fire school's going on next week. Paul and Alan are going there for their officer class, officer 3. Nick McGavick, Captain Olamby are each attending the class next week. So we only have 4 individuals actually signed up to go to summer fire school. Firefighter Miracle, Firefighter Oliver, and myself signed up for that 4-hour Mayday class end of the month. It got postponed, so we don't know when that's going to occur. We did receive approval for a solar panel class and a first 2 hazmat size-up class. That'll be anywhere between this July and the following July. So we do have the size-up class scheduled for October 4th, and we're still waiting to schedule the other one. So those are both free of charge through the division. We put in for them last year and the money just come available. Yesterday I attended an instructor update class in West County. There's kind of updates on Fire 1 and 2, doing the evaluations and different certifications. So several more are signing up. I know Paul's already signed up for a Winsville class. The crews this week are doing walkthroughs at the Most plant, Most Incorporated. First week of May, the crews went over there to the city pond, helped with the fishing, so we appreciate that. Conservation appreciates it, since we do it every year.
Any
And-
attacks by geese? Good.
Yes, might say. We have a couple of the kickoff meetings we've already attended for the first due. We had another one today, so we've kind of assigned some of the tasks to different individuals. So they're kind of doing breakout sessions now, and we're starting to move some items over there, some assets, some inventory into that program itself. So it's the work we're starting the process, so. And that's what I have.
Thank you. You handling Steve stuff, or we moving on?
Absolutely, sure. We had 29 inspections this month. Just getting a lot done, busy, busy, busy. Mercy is redoing their CT room and their pharmacy. Still working on one of the Boone Streets, the apartments over there. St. Louis Dermatology is getting ready to do a phase 2 in the back of theirs because they just finished the front. That's all that I got that's really new. 911's moving along.
Just for real this time, that's all you got?
Uh-huh.
You sure?
No, we took care of the other issues, so
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Old business.
So I covered it under the chief's report, so I have no other old business.
New business.
I have none.
It's on you. Go Paul.
Sure.
Go Paul, go? Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So we met Monday, the benefits committee, met with chiefs, Donna, Pat, Director Reed, my apologies, and talk about the retirement, the retiree portion of the trust fund. I had read through some of the information, had some questions about that I spoke with Donna about already, and we're gonna be getting together with everyone again, sooner than later. So that
Okay.
we can
So we're not ready for that.
get this. So we are ready for the,
And then we're gonna, I already did the packet, so
Yeah.
we are ready to reach out. We
Yes.
just want to finalize so we all are on the same page.
right,
So we won't necessarily ask for a new board meeting, but I will reach out to you guys if you
Yeah.
agree to add that little option on for us.
Okay.
Right, Paul?
yep.
And we're gonna present that
That's what we
when?
discussed.
When- By June.
Okay, not tonight.
Yeah, no, not, no.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but was, I don't even know what.
First week of June, so
Yeah.
whenever everybody can get
Yeah.
together and.
Yeah.
You started working on that 4 or 5 years ago? 6, 5?
So right now, we're just looking to have that option to be able
Yeah.
to put that 10-year
Yeah.
thing together, yeah.
We've never had that, right?
No,
Right.
yeah, correct.
Okay. Anything else?
Chop worked on the firefighter application stuff for the hiring that you guys got, so that's it. That's all I got.
Thank you. Kevin Harder.
Ladder truck was, they were scheduled to be done with it June 22nd, but I just got an email today, it's pushed back about 2 weeks, so.
I think you said last year would be August.
Yeah, yep. Potentially though, I mean, yeah, probably 1st of August when we see it in St. Louis, somewhere in there. They're having a little trouble with their UL certification. I guess there's only one guy for the whole region up there, so, anyway, I don't know exactly what the pushback was, but it definitely will be somewhere around the 1st week of July before they're done with it, and then
That's always been the date in my head, was or August,
Right.
based on what you told us before.
I'd say we'll still be pretty close to that.
We got a class the last of August, so we'll have something here.
Pardon?
We have a class on land in August, so we'll have something here. Some type of ladder truck.
Yeah. It'd be good. Anything else?
Pretty much just normal stuff on the rest of the trucks.
Rick just walking in.
Pardon?
Rick's just walking in.
Come on in. That sucks, doesn't it?
What's that, all the traffic?
Yeah.
I saw it coming all the way down.
You need a break before you start?
Oh, no, we're fine.
We can keep going.
Well, Totally up to you, Mr. Chairman.
No, sir. It's up to you. You're
Here, I'll
driving
give
the
it
boat.
for you.
Oh, you
I'll
should?
hand them, yeah.
Oh, great, thank you.
Well, you?
I got March. I got March.
Busy man. Thank you.
Setting everybody up. Oh,
Just in
thank you,
case,
thank you.
you're welcome.
You are just too kind.
At your leisure.
All right, very good. So why don't we turn into page number 2? We've got good news. So keep in mind, April, 4 months in, threshold 33.3%. If you look to the right, we're at 29.98. So we're 3.32% under budget. What is that in dollars? Every 1% is about 53,000. So right now, we're about $176,000 under budget. Job well done. Take a look at last year as we walk through history. You can see we were over budget by 2.89, wound up under budget by 5.64. How about in 23? Under budget by 1.5, wound up under budget by 8.45. And in 22, under budget by 2.34, wound up under budget once again by 8.87. So history says this: if we're under budget at this point in time, there's a good chance we'll be under budget for the year. But keep in mind, only 4 months in, still have a lot of activity. So let's do this. Turn to the next page. So keep in mind, on page number 3, you can see the categories 1 through 7. Category 3 is over and under. If it's bold and checked, we're already over budget. Revenue, good news. Expense side, normally not so good. Only one category is, and of course, that's income, so that's good news. Category 4, percent, 33.3% is our threshold. Category 6, the difference between the 4 months of this year to the 4 months of last year, so we can get a comparison of those two periods. So let's start up above. Tax collections, you can see 86.45. Compared to last year, we're up by about $109,000. Then we look at interest right now, 41.14. Of course, Don and Chief doing a great job laddering the money, but compared to last year, a little less. Now keep in mind, interest rates are coming down, so we're gonna see less throughout the year. And then we look at sales tax, we're almost right there on par. Now keep in mind, as we talk about sales tax, there's a House bill, 594, that got passed this year. Okay, what does it do? It's gonna allow the districts an opportunity to put their sales tax rate at 1%. That means it would double what we have. At the same time, we'd roll back another 16 cents to the residents. So that same factor would be in play, rolling back taxes and increasing our revenue by about $2.7 million. Something to consider. So keep in mind, certain counties were locked out. There were 5 in the state. St. Charles, St. Louis were 2 of them. They're now included. So you're going to see a lot of ballot initiatives discussed. It's either going to be this November or next April, because all those districts that have been left out for all this time are in the mood to consider this, because they get to keep 50% and they get to roll back resident taxes while providing enhanced services, better response times. So it's a win-win for everyone. So something for the district to consider. You're going to hear a lot of this discussed in the sectors of private, being fire and ambulance, throughout the county. So it's going to be significant. So keep an eye on it. We're just letting you know, because of the fact that if the governor signs, which they anticipate he will before July 15th, it becomes law this August the 28th. So on all the districts that are talking about this as we speak, are either looking at November this year or April next year. They haven't decided. So it will be one or the other. So just keep that in mind. If this district is interested, it's informational only, just to keep everyone informed. But $2.7 million rolling back tax rates by at least another 16 or more cents per $100 assessed valuation. It's, again, with more services by the district, it's a win-win for everyone. So something to think about as we move forward. Then we look at our total revenues right now, 55.5. Compared to last year, 93,627, 3.39. So you can already begin to see what's happening. Our revenue is leveling off. So in the future, we're going to be here until growth arrives, and that could be several years down the road. Now how about on the expense side? Awards, you can see, 49.06, just a little bit higher compared to last year, about $4,200 more. Building maintenance right now, 37.53. Compared to last year, we're up about $12,508. We'll see that here in just a few minutes. Then we look at our communication expenses, 34.93. Keep in mind, 33.3 is our threshold, nothing to be alarmed about there. Then we got dues and subscriptions. Well, we know that's paid once per year, normally early in the year. We're at 50.89. Compared to last year, almost the same amount. So we'll be in good shape by year end. We'll be on target with that category. Then we look at fire prevention. We're at 86.79, about $5,600 ahead of where we were last year. So again, right now, you'd indicate that that probably is going to go over, since that's like late November numbers here, sitting in April. Then we look at the next category. You can see professional fees, 56.55, 37,813 more than last year. We'll see in a few minutes. Keep in mind, SysTech and some of the others are in that category. Then we look at unscheduled, we look at salaries overtime, 81.67, 16,331, below where we were last year. Given where that number is, that category will be over budget. So keep that in mind, because we're going into the vacation season. We already know that's going to go over. And then we look at utilities. We know we had a colder than expected winter. Things are starting to level off a little bit. This will probably start getting in line unless we have an unseasonal hot summer. 36.57 compared to last year, 7,160 more. So total expenses, 29.98, significantly under budget. Look at column 6. Talk about revenue up, 93,627, 3.39. Look at the expense side. Great bottom line leadership. $91,877 less. That's 5.46%. Most districts, because of inflation and other expenses, are spending more, not less. So again, bodes well by what's going on here. Everyone in this room is contributing to the bottom line. All right, next page just keeps you informed on the high level for capital projects. We'll see that in just a minute. So you can see right now we've earned more interest than we've actually spent out of that account. So keep that in mind. Our big expenses were early last year, and since then we really haven't spent a lot out of this account. Page number 5 gives you cash balances and where we anticipate the reserve to be. So keep in mind, you can see right now we're almost 9 million in the accounts. 8.6 last year at this time. We're up 392,000. So roughly about almost another full month. But it's still early, so keep that in mind as time moves on. But we're 1 month better than we were last year at this time for the reserve. Page 6 just keeps you informed, informational. Okay, page 7, 8, those are again informational. So what we're going to do now is go look at the 2-year comparison that we've got here for general, like we always do. And that starts on page 24. So keep on 24, we always look at the right 2 columns. That's year-to-date this year, and then year-to-date last year. So keep in mind, this is 4 months compared to 4 months. So as we look, you can see salaries. Salaries are a little less than they were last year at this time. Salaries overtime is down compared to last year at this time. So hand in hand, that means what? Payroll taxes are down, because that's a byproduct of those 2 categories. Office supplies, about $700 less, you can see that. Then we look at communication expenses, about $1,000 more. And then we look at fuel, 13.7 compared to 12.2. Now keep in mind, fuel prices are good. We're going into the vacation season, they could start going up, but right now, fuel prices look awful good. Hopefully they continue. If we go to the next page, page 25, and we look at dues and subscriptions, this is what we're talking about. We're going to be fine. So you can see the big expense is always St. Charles City Emergency. So right now, we're about 1,400 ahead of where we were last year. Advertising, just a little bit less, small dollar category. Then you look at insurance general, that'll populate here in the next month or 2. And then insurance employee, a little less compared to last year. So you can see that as we speak. So that's good news for the district. Most saw an increase of 6 to 9%. So now, again, we're only 4 months in. Professional fees right now, you can see what's transpiring there. So again, the audit fee came through for the CPA firm, FEW, that's Fick Eggmeyer, so we know that transpired compared to the amount that we had last year for our auditor. Then we look down below, you can see bottom of page 25 to the top of page 26. That's our building maintenance category. So you can see what's transpiring there and some of the expenses that are occurring. So keep in mind, we're about 13,000 ahead of where we were last year, but not uncommon given what transpires with our building. So keep that in mind. And we're still going to be, we anticipate, on budget. Equipment maintenance, you can see about $5,000 more. So we can see what's transpiring there. And then we look at EMS equipment. So we can see what's transpiring there, about $400 more this year compared to last year. Vehicle maintenance right now, $12,000 less. Still early, so we know that. But the good news is we're seeing a trend of less expense, not more. So hopefully that will continue. And then we look at the 457. So again, it goes hand in hand with our salaries. So when salaries are down a little bit, so will this account. Doctor fees, that's timing of physicals. So keep in mind, timing of physicals and payment. Top of page 27, awards. So you can see the functions have already taken place. So we're about $4,300 ahead, $4,300 ahead of where we were last year. Fire prevention, education. So we can see the expenses there. And then we look at training and education. 16,000 last year, about 7,500. Still early, so let's see what transpires. A lot of these courses are to take place here soon. Uniforms, 18,000 last year, 9,000 this year. So again, a lot less when you look at uniform expenses between the 2 years. PP&E, it's our gear, $1,598. Last year, all of that would have gone through the bond. Bottom of page 27, top of page 28, those are our cleaning supplies. So you can see roughly about $1,400 less, but a lot of this is timing of restocking and when that hits. And then our utilities, $31,000 this year, $24,000 last year, and keep in mind, you can see propane is a big number. So we had a very, very cold winter, colder than normal. So let's see what transpires here in the next few months. That should start to level off before the end of this year. All right, so let's go take a look at the bond now, so we can keep an eye on what's transpiring. The first page we always go to is the cash account for the bond, and that's going to be on page 32. So page 32 is what remains in the bond. $4,298,828.46 as of the end of April. So keep that in mind. Now, if we turn just 2 more pages and go to page 34, we can see what's transpired. In other words, the income coming in because of the investments of Peoples, coupled with where the expenses are going. So you can see for the month of April, we spent $9,490.87. SysTech, UES, general reimbursement, SysTech, and then you can see what's transpiring there. So those were the expenses to date. We spent $18,968, but we brought in $57,422 on the revenue side. And then if we look at a 2-year comparison like we do at general on page 36, you get a good indication of what transpired this year, first 4 months, and last year, first 4 months. So you can see interest a little bit less, but rates are down, to be expected, plus a little less in the account than we had last year at this time. But last year at this time, we had spent $290,396, and most of that was completing the AME construction contract. So keep that in mind, and then you can see this year, $18,968. So once again, the bond is in great shape. So with that, that's the financial report for the month of April. I'll be happy to address any questions anyone may have, and want to reach out and thank the district, the directors, and everyone for patience and understanding during tax season. Always greatly appreciated. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. You have any questions?
So I got one.
Certainly.
So the Wayfair online sales,
Yes.
are we entitled to any of that?
Well, let's talk Wayfair. So keep in mind, 2 things are sitting in the governor's desk. Wayfair is in 2 different bills. Okay, so there's 2 types of sales. One is sales tax POS, point of sale registers, when you go to any specific retailer here within the district. The other's called Wayfair. That's titled use tax. Believe it or not, Missouri was the last state in the union to pass Wayfair. It was back in 21. And when they did it, instead of calling it sales tax, like the Supreme Court did, they called it use tax. So that forced everyone to go out and get that approved. Separate ballot issue. You have to go out and get it separately put on the ballot. Now, up until this initiative that we're talking about, that Robert's discussing, we were locked out. It was in chapter 144 that says fire and ambulance are completely excluded in that statute. Why? The municipalities didn't want us to have it. So they put it in there so we would be locked out. They consider sales tax their domain, not ours, theirs. So that's why we were locked out. If this gets signed, we'll have to put it on the ballot at some point in time to collect. My recommendation, wait a while. Because use tax is going to be drop shipments, eBay, Amazon. And right now,
It's half.
it's not even big dollars.
Yeah.
We're seeing throughout all the counties,
Yeah.
it's like 20% of what you get on sales tax. So, but, by 2030, it's gonna be significantly more as more and more shoppers go online. So, we're recommending, get the sales tax initiative we just talked about and get another 2.7 million. Come back in a few years, give the voters some rest, come back in a few years and consider Wayfair, and then you have the ability to have both. But yes, it should be signed. It's in 2 bills, 199 and 271. So if either one gets signed, Wayfair is going to be there. We're being told they're probably both going to be signed by the governor, and So Wayfair will be available, but it's a district-by-district decision on when to do. Our recommendation to all the districts, let's wait, let's get this sales tax first, and then come back for Wayfair in a few years. So, good question.
Thank you.
And it has to be voter approved.
It has to be voter approved. That's the other reason I'm asking everyone to wait, because you don't want to keep throwing ballot initiatives out there. We still have to renew a bond at some point in time in between, so keep that in mind. It's basically going to be priorities. Wayfair's not a big number yet, but it will be in 2030 through 2035. At that point in time, somewhere around 2030, I recommend putting it on and capturing those sales related to eBay, Amazon, and all those that are drop shipping.
Good job, Robert.
We've all been talking.
That's all I have. You have anything?
I'm good.
Right, very good.
It was quick.
Thank you all very much.
Took longer to drive here, sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay, not a problem. It's all this construction, it's all over. So I'm glad they're finally doing it, but it's gonna be probably a couple of years before.
Can you think about the construction industry and how many dump trucks and others are out there working right now?
Right, I was in Warrington last night. They were working late at night.
It's tremendous.
It's like, oh my gosh, going down, because they basically had the highway almost all blocked off with only a few lanes, so. But it's gotta get done for the future. So when it's all said and done, it's gonna be pretty nice.
It'd be magnificent.
So we can only hope, Judy. Until the next project. Thank
Have a
you
safe
all.
drive home.
Appreciate it,
Thank
thank you. Thank you, Donna, for everything you do.
Thank
Right. Did that address your question? Yeah. Okay, thank you.
See you. Thank you.
Thanks, Robert. Back to our regularly scheduled program,
Yes, sir.
good and welfare.
So tonight I have quite a bit of stuff on the good and welfare, so we'll move to it pretty quick. Robert touched on it, but I want to emphasize how well the crews have been working out there in public relations. Of course, the fishing at the pond was a big deal. We do it every year, but yet it's a long week and a lot of fun for the kids, and that was great. I happened to have the pleasure of going by Sunrise Villa Apartments and having a safety conversation, actually turned into 2 hours, because PD didn't show up with the seniors there. They sent me a very nice thank you card about that. That was fun. I attended Officer Schneider's ceremony yesterday at City Hall. He was the Troy PD officer that pulled that gentleman out of that vehicle fire. That was an outstanding job. The city PD put on a good deal for him, as they should, and it well earned. Just to let the board know, we're always trying to reach out and help our community here. So our community room has been being used by our Rotarians here in town. The Troy Rotarians, which I belong to, is a very good group. They do a lot of good community service to our area, and they appreciate the ability to use our community room. That will be coming to an end soon. They're working back to Woods Fort, but they wanted to thank the board for that, and I told them I would. We had our awards banquet, first time in a little bit here at the district last couple weeks ago. Again, a special thank you to everybody that worked so hard for that event. Some of the firefighters that helped put it together, our office staff that worked so hard in the planning and organizing, and those that attended. It was very nice, and thank you, board, for allowing us to put it on. We also returned a favor the other night to Winsville Fire. As you all know, Winsville Fire does a lot of mutual aid for us, and we always appreciate that. And I will tell you, gentlemen, they'll help out. We're firefighters. We help whoever needs help. But they always tell me, because I'm connected to Winsville, they have no issues coming out here because our firefighters are strong. They're good. We get in there, we put the fire out, and we send them back, and they appreciate that. So that's a good thing. But we worked a 2-alarm fire in Eagles Point the other morning for several hours in the rain. Both of our tankers were called because it was a waterless area. Huge 2-story home, direct hit from lightning during the storm. But our crews did a great job there. I was there talking to Battalion Chief Meyer, Willie, at the command post there, and he said, Chief, we got a supply officer, one of their captains, and you know, Winsville has waterless areas, but they don't function like we do out here. We know our we know our stuff out here when it comes to waterless areas. And I said, I assure you, Willie, that our crews know how to shuttle water back and forth. We got 2 tankers here, 1 supplying 2 of your support trucks. We're fine. We'll get it done for you. And the crews did. So that was great to hear and do. That was rather quick and short and sweet to the point, but one special event, I'd like to ask for Mr. Mike Whitecamp to come forward, and I'd like to give you a special service award. Whitey, please. So Whitey, Mr. Whitecamp, for your 25 years of career service, distinguished career service, working for your community in this district and all that you do, the district thanks you for your 25 years. Thank you.
Okay, you'll embarrass me.
That ain't easy to do. I do need to backtrack up to what Chief said. So the Chief of Wentzville actually reached out to reiterate what Chief Marlowe just said and said to thank everyone to let you know that they hustled and they were awesome and they came and they really, 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 truly helped them.
We passed it on.
Sorry, he literally told me to say that, huh?
Did he even go?
Who?
Steve?
No.
I don't know, he just called to say that the guys, the crews on were awesome, that they truly, truly helped them, like, he went on and on, so I thought you were gonna get there, but yes, he did reach out. Okay.
So I want to reiterate what Rick was saying earlier. It doesn't go unnoticed that Rick said everyone in this room is contributing to the bottom line. And it doesn't go unnoticed that the firefighters here are contributing to the bottom line. So I appreciate it. I know Bruce appreciates it. I don't know about Pat, he's kind of grumpy.
I do.
But anyway, I just wanted, he brought that up and I'd already made a note. I wanted to make sure to tell everybody that when we're all working together, we're gonna get our goals accomplished, and it's nice. So for what that's worth. And you missed a pretty good awards banquet if you didn't go. The food was good, the entertainment was good. I'm looking forward to another one next year. So it was nice. It's been a long time since we'd all been together, and for those who didn't make it, we missed you. So that's all I get, unless you guys want to add on to that.
I want to add on to that, if I may, please.
Okay.
You thank us a lot, but it also goes all the way up to the top, and that's governance, and that's you two and Bruce. Without your leadership, your guidance, and your due diligence that you truly care about how this district operates, both financially and to their fire suppression and EMS work, is up to you guys. So thank you for that.
Well, from a personal standpoint, I care about everybody in the room, personally. I care about you, care about your families. So I guess I gotta prove it, but I do mean it for what it's worth. Anything else for good and welfare?
I have nothing else, sir.
Okay. Need a motion to adjourn to closed session pursuant to RSMO 610-021.3.
And we were opening afterwards.
Are we gonna open afterwards? I don't think so. I don't think there's any reason to.
Make a motion to adjourn the closed session.
So we're gonna motion to go into the closed session. You're seconding, Ken.
Yes, ma'am.
Roll call, Pat.
Yes.
Ken.
Yes.
Bruce is absent, and motion to adjourn the meeting at 6:10. Pat.
16.
Second.
Yes, second,
Roll call,
I can.
Pat. Ken.